$300,000, 0% interest, no tax returns, no revenue verification, and no collateral. That's not a scam headline. That's what my clients are getting approved for. And it's what I'm going to break down for you today in this video. If you've ever been told
you need a loan to grow your business, or that you need to give up equity to get funding, or that you need 2 years of financial,
this video is going to completely change how you think about capital. Most entrepreneurs think about funding in one of two ways. Either you bootstrap, you grind, you reinvest, you grow slowly with whatever cash you generate, or you go get a loan. Both of these paths have a dirty secret that nobody talks about. Bootstrapping isn't free. Every week you wait to scale is a week your competitors are spending money on ads, inventory, on talent, which compounds. The cost of not having capital is invisible, but it's enormous. In traditional loans, best case, you're looking at 6 to 10% interest. You need 2 years of tax returns, good revenue, and possibly collateral. That process takes months. Most early stage entrepreneurs, business owners don't even qualify. So entrepreneurs get stuck, too scared to take on debt, too slow to scale, always chasing instead of leading. Here's the math that changes everything. Let's say you need $50,000 to scale your business. You take a traditional loan at 7% interest over 3 years. You're paying back over $55,000. You paid $5,000 in interest just for the privilege of using money for 36 months. Now imagine that same $50,000 at 0% interest for 12 to 18 months. You deploy it, you generate a return, and you pay it back before the promotional period ends. You paid nothing in interest, zero. That's not hypothetical. That's how business credit cards actually work if you know how to use them strategically. Most business owners either don't know they exist or they've tried it and gotten rejected because they didn't apply correctly. The problem isn't the funding. The problem is the approach. In April 2020, I got approved for my first business credit card, $5,000. I thought that was about as good as it got. But I started to reverse engineer how underwriters made decisions. I studied which banks pull from which bureaus. I learned about application timing and how there's a window between when you apply and when the hard inquiry appears, which means you can apply to multiple lenders before any of them see the others. Within 14 months, I had over $500,000 in credit approved on business credit cards. And then I started to teach other entrepreneurs the same system. Over 3,000 entrepreneurs I've coached over the last 5 years. The results are real: $50,000 to $250,000 of zero interest business credit for people with a qualifying credit profile. The strategy, it's called credit stacking. You're applying for multiple business credit cards from tier 1 banks in a strategic sequence that maximizes approvals and minimizes the credit damage. And then you move on to tier 2 banks. Business credit cards are fundamentally different from personal credit cards. They do not report to your personal credit bureaus. Your personal score stays protected while you build up business credit lines across multiple institutions. And here's the part that sounds crazy until you understand it. Because each bank only sees your personal credit history, not your other business card applications. You can apply to 5, 6, 8 lenders, and each one evaluates you as a fresh applicant. Phase 1 is profile prep, okay? Your FICO score needs to be at 720 or above to go to funding, okay? If you're below that right now, 680, you can still start, but you want to optimize and get to a 720. And not just on Credit Karma, but your FICO score. So checking myfico.com or MyScoreIQ, okay? This is the score that the banks actually pull from. And your utilization, it needs to be under 30% on each individual card, not just an average. So phase 2 is setting up your business entity correctly. You need a registered LLC or corporation and an EIN from the IRS, which is free. It's 10 minutes to get on the irs.government website. A business bank account, ideally at one of the top tier 1 banks like Chase, Bank of America, ideally both, and then your business name, your address, and your phone number and your personal information need to match across everything. It needs to be consistent information. Then phase 3 is the application sequence. Chase tends to pull from Experian. Bank of America often pulls TransUnion. So you apply to multiple banks in a tight couple-day window. Staggered by bureau, you start with banks where you have existing relationships with. Phase 4 is the stack. After your first round of approvals, you request limit increases at the 6-month mark. You use the high limits to qualify for the second round with Tier 2 banks and credit unions. This compounds over time. Clients who follow this process are averaging between $100,000 and $250,000 in zero interest business credit within 6 to 12 months of going through this process. So go check your FICO score, myscoreiq.com. If you're above a 680, you may already qualify to start this process. Then go through optimization, and ideally you get to a 720 plus. If you're at 680, it's usually pretty easy to get to that 720 plus. There's just some tweaks you need to do. So second, make sure your business is set up as an entity, an LLC, corporation. Get the EIN, get the business bank account. I'd start at Chase. And those, like doing those things, they're not optional. You need to have the LLC, you need to get an EIN, and you need to start building that banking relationship at banks like Chase. But all of this isn't actually useless. So if you want to know how to actually get approved and what the banks are actually looking for, go watch this next video right here. And if you're looking for a done-for-you funding process, where my team will hold your hand through the entire process and get you the funding you're looking for, $50,000 to $250,000 at zero interest for 7 to 18 months. We'll drop a link down below to schedule a call with someone on my team. Regardless, hopefully you got some great value from this video. Subscribe to the channel, and we have some more videos on the way. I'll see you in the next.